Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. I have a reading for you with my Dakini oracle because I was really wondering what's going on right now because so much things have shifted and it seems like the days are kind of blurring into each other. There is somehow not that significant break in between from the night. When I look back, it is like I cannot explain really what it is. So I was checking with the Dakini oracle, and then I was the intuition that came to me was actually very interesting, and which was also confirmed in a way when I was looking at some other stuff. So we have here as above, so below, as above, so below. So I think this is a very significant card that we need to look at because when we want to move forward, then we need to balance and bring together this what is above and what is below. So below, like on the physical end, we have our physical body. Above, we have, say, the energetic part of who we are, the soul. And just look at the soul at one point, and then it hit me actually what was going on in the moment. And I want to share a picture with you right now. First this one. So just imagine our soul is like a balloon. This is a very simple way to show it, and this is actually my astrology book. So we have the soul that is this white space here, and then there is at one point that soul squeezes out like a little bubble, and the same air that is in this balloon is in that little bubble out there. You know how the kids, they make all kind of figures now with those balloons. So now this person is going to have an experience in a lower matrix, like when we came here. So it is part of the soul, but it is actually, in fact, it's much smaller when you would look at the perspective. So this is the part of the personality, and let's just say that is personality number one. And then personality number one at one point leaves the body and goes back into that soul. So we have that still here, and all the knowledge of personality one is back in the soul. So at the next point, there is a personality number two. So the personality number two that comes into a body is not the 100% newcomer anymore, but has already knowledge within of personality number one. And so, say, for example, the personality number one has certain experience and want to expand it. So maybe personality number two is taking that, what we call today karma, that is part of knowledge within this life, to expand it and work maybe on the same topic. So we have personality one and two on a similar topic, and then personality number one and two, the experience when that person dies, leaves the body, goes back into the soul. And what is so important to explain here is that this is not like we understand that in linear time, but it is more like, I talked about that stack that has many pieces of paper on it. And so number one is the first piece of paper and the second piece of paper, but they're all on the same stack. Because what really plays a role is not the horizontal line, but the vertical line. And this is the connection to the soul. So we are all within the same soul connection. So another personality comes with another task and learns more. And every time that is a personality in this experience, the whole experience comes back into the soul. That doesn't mean that the body still has to exist in the 3D, but on the other hand, it does, because again, time does not exist. So we have all these pieces of paper on that stack. And at one point, like when we have all the experience that we have, like where we have 100 lives. So for example, your soul number 50 or 100 or whatever, it doesn't matter. So you look into that other lifetimes and you say, okay, in this lifetime, I still have unfinished business actually, so I take it with me. So I will finish that business that personality 25 has not finished. And maybe I also take on another thing from personality, whatever. And so you come in and that what we call karma. So in this way, it's actually not just like connected to past lives, but it's connected to our soul as an entity, as a being that needs completion. Now, a lot of us who are here in the moment, especially all those light workers, they are here now to finish all the business of the unfinished business of those souls, which actually is very often the same thing. It just has another costume because at the end it's always connected with the 3D experience. And as you know, most of the people, what is our topic? Lack of confidence. Anyway, this whole lack experience, not having enough, not being good enough, all that is connected with past lives where this was like a program put into us. And now we have to complete this. Now, when we complete this, what actually happens, we have to redeem in this lifetime all of this personality. We complete the karma. So the past lives don't really exist anymore, but the experience of the past lives is still existing. And we can say now, going back to the course, that this is what it means, like all the experience of the soul, all the experience of every personality that ever has been connected or part of that soul that you are, including your avatar of person right now, has to be redeemed so we can move forward. So see, this is a much, much more a much broader topic than just redeem a karma. Or like I was a regression therapist in the 80s. So I know all about these lifetimes. And I know that at the first part, you also go through this experience. Oh, this is why I'm like this. And because I hate this person, because this person killed me in a previous life. And you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's much more than that. It is because every time we manifest something, and you know by now that at least those who know me a little bit better, that we create our life and our life circumstances ourselves. We are the creators of our life, but sometimes we have created it before this lifetime, so we are consciously not aware of it. So what we have to do is now to redeem ourselves with all the other so-called personalities. Remember, persona means costume, mask, with this avatar, with this body, to redeem them all. So the whole knowledge and everything will be there, but not anymore limited to these little personalities. Now, this is very significant, and this is what I feel is so important now to understand that we can move forward. So we have to balance that, and whatever is coming into our lives has something to do with that balance. We don't have time to create new things in a way like we don't have to create a new world or have to create a new city or big things. We have to be creative, but only in a way of expression, to express ourselves in one or another way that we were not able before, also to balance. And it's very often, it's to balance our self-esteem. Most people I know, including myself, have still some say like a topic with lack of this and lack of that. And I catch myself also, especially with the English language, which is so difficult and so kind of programmed also to stay in the negative, like the weak end, to be weak at the end. So the whole week we are weak, and then the end of the week, and lots of things like that. Like one of the really bad um, misunderstandings is like when you say a mistake. The mistake is literally you say mistake. So you missed to take something. So you cannot have a mistake because you literally say, I missed it. And there is so much like the word understanding. Understand, I stand under. So whenever you are somehow connected with anybody from a legal part, police, whatever it is, never, ever, ever say, when they say, do you understand? Don't say yes, never, because you say, I stand under you, and you give power away. So this is also very complicated, and this is kind of pulling us back again and again and again into an energy of victim. And, I don't know with this language. Honestly, I have no idea how to completely redeem that. But what we can do is at least know it. Try to look behind the words, try to look at the root, and always be aware, whatever circumstances I am in, on one level, I have created that. And now I have to complete it. I have to finish it. You have to look at it and say, no, I'm not there anymore. There is no lack. There is only abundance. Look what happened with, like, for example, if you have an apple tree or whatever tree it is, that you can have, like, say, just a small tree have 1,000 apples, and each apple has, say, 10 seeds. So you have already 10,000 seeds for new apple trees. And it is so important that we can see that again, that the abundance is within us, that we just have to make the steps. And especially in the last couple of years with this whole C-19 stuff that was going on, it was so much struggle to bring all that in with so much brainwash outside. We were constantly bombarded with negative energy. Now, this is to keep us negative because, as you know, those entities who are controlling people, even those that we don't see behind them, they live from our energy and they suck people dry because they need the negative energy. So if we don't send this energy of fear, of lack, of anger, of sadness out anymore, they have no more food. So what we need is to balance this and take this energy back so we are not vulnerable anymore. We can move on earlier. And then the next card, see the Guardian. This is the Mahakala. This is a connection with Kali. And you can see that he's angry. There's a lot of anger here in the background. You can see actually a Kali figure too here. And it means that this is a very powerful protective energy. So this is what helps us to give out this, to reflect this negative energy. Have you ever realized that, especially here in the Asian traditions, you can see it very clearly that all these horrible figures in front of temples that you have to pass first to get to the temple. These are the guardians. You can see them also in many other, even Christian religion, in old cathedrals. You can see also these guardians. These are mythological figures that usually are said just to be some kind of fairy tales, but it's not. There is also much more behind that. Because remember, what you can imagine, what you can visualize exists. Otherwise, you would not be able to imagine it. Because that's where we tap in into this morphogenetic fields or morphic fields that is there. Otherwise, we would not be able. to tap into it. So the guardian is here. That's your personal guardian. Visualize this guy very well and kind of put that out. You can also make a screenshot when you look at the video and put that out. Maybe this would be a good thing to make an image of that picture and put it all around you where you are attacked. Now, the mother's milk is see, this is the Milky Way. It's a cosmic milk, and we have mother breast here, which is the nourishing part of the mother. So see, the moment we move beyond all that illusion of not being good enough, and this is one of the worst, that is so stuck with everybody, that yes, I am part, the universe is my mother, I am part of God. What is a very good symbolic that I often use is like the sun. The sun has millions of rays going out, and the sun says, sun is God, sun is God. And we are the end of a sun ray. That's the ray of the sun, that is the energy in our heart, that is the life energy that we are. And once we move out the body, we kind of go back on that sun ray, back into the sun. But this is actually the point that was diverted in the false matrix. And now I have to tell you, because we are not anymore in harmony within that universe, but on that false matrix that I mentioned before, we have been cut off. And what these negative ones have done is like, I saw that when I was working out of my body to rescue some souls at one point. So I saw that was a fight. This is, or at one point it was an accident. It was a train that fell into a huge river and a lot of people died. And at that moment, there was kind of a tunnel for those souls to go out. I don't know really how to explain that. It's also something that you cannot really say in words, but what I can say very clearly, there suddenly appeared in front of that tunnel that was meant for the souls to go on. There was a white light gate in front of it. And this white light gate, the people then they run to this gate, and this is the kind of the recycle gate of the dark ones. So those who went through that gate, they were kind of put again in, it looks a little bit like that bubble that I showed you in the first picture, that those people go there, what they call heaven or hell, or afterwards, where but they don't have a physical body anymore, and therefore materialize immediately their belief. So those who believe to be in hell, they will be in hell. Those who are more like heaven or any other belief, they see that exactly, because again, our nature is to create. So, for example, if one is a Christian and see, then this person might see Jesus. If one is a Buddhist, that person might see Buddha, and so on. And then they stay there for a while, and then they are pulled back, recycled into another body to be fuel energy for the dark ones. But they never really went to what we would call heaven or hell or whatever. This was, again, a construct of your belief that is part connected with the brainwash. Now, when we have here the mother milk is like, this is the true energy of the cosmos. So the guardian is here now, so that those dark ones cannot pull you back anymore through a false heaven, hell, whatever scenario or bubble. They cannot do that. So again, also stop with that belief, go to the white light. This is deception. And here you can also see that practically all religion have been hijacked, because where you go through is kind of another energy field. Let's just put it that way. And the thing is, if we move beyond that, this is connected with our consciousness level. And then we come to the soma. Soma actually as a word means the elixir of immortality. And this mushroom is like, when you take the magic mushroom, you see into other worlds. Your kind of your matrix beliefs, they collapse for a little while and you move into a different belief. But unfortunately, that also has been a lot of misuse, that those experiences became nightmares and not anymore the real visualization, because what you can see here in the background is an ice wall. And here you see the reflection of the sun. Because see, when we are here in the 3D matrix, false matrix, it is everything is reversed, everything is opposite as it should be in a real matrix. This is where we are going. So if we focus now on the true universal knowledge, and like if we question everything and if we ask, whenever things are coming to the surface, is this true or not? And I recommend you to start to work with kinesiology. This is a very easy way. This is one of the most powerful ways to really feel if something is true for you or it's not true. And then you will see through the illusion, through the veil of our limited belief system, because you can see only what you believe. When you don't believe it, you don't see it. So once that illusion is torn, like the veil is torn apart and you can see behind it, then you can see the real truth. I can imagine that this is a little bit difficult to understand. Maybe you have to listen a second time, but when I heard about that first long time ago, that everything is opposite, and I did not understand. I understand now, because especially wherever you see humanitarian help, it's actually the opposite. And let me just give you one sample here that you understand what I'm saying. For example, anything like you go for childcare, whatever. Let me put that way. You heard the saying, if you want to help somebody, don't give them a fish, teach them fishing. That's the point. So if I give that person a fish, I make that person dependent on me. And that is what the whole social apparatus is doing. You are then depending on that. You are controlled by it. But if they teach you to do things yourself, then you can free yourself again. And this is what is so difficult to understand, that this actually leads you into the dependency of authorities, of systems, of NGOs, of whatever you want to call it. But you cannot be free. So once you move into the true knowledge of who you are, if you move into understanding your soul, understand your soul, stand under your soul, but not the rule of other people. So we have created the word, I heard it also other places, innerstand. So I understand in that moment, because I stand inside of my true divine core. And once from that inner standing, I can start to transmute things around me. And so ask when you do or prayer, or I don't like the word prayer. Pray, what what a pray is, right? When you go hunting and you have to pray. So again, another word that is really difficult. And so it is good to understand that we are free beings, kind of caught in the in a cage, we can say in a cage of this matrix. And the only thing how we can get out is through the inner standing, that we can shift anything around us with our consciousness. And what we need to shift is to go beyond the consciousness of lack, of not having enough, not being enough, and all that, not good enough. So if you meditate, connect yourself with the cosmic, the mother milk, the original milk, like when we were born, when this soul came into existence, to drink that elixir of immortality, which is connected to the last card, that we understand again who we really are, and that God is not judging. This is so human-made, human-made God in the image of human, not the opposite way around. So on a higher level, we have come here for experience. We had experience, and you think up there is afterwards standing some angry God and said, you did know. Well, no, you come here for experience. Experience, that is it. Every experience you've ever had is part of the consciousness of who you really are on a level of consciousness, and not on a personal level of a limited persona. So the moment you expand your consciousness and you understand what, I say the word understand again, it's horrible. It's such a habit, and especially since English is not my first language, it's much more difficult. So it's that comprehension that we can get out of it with rising our consciousness level, when we reconnect to the soul, reconnect to what do you call higher self, or divine self, or source self. And then it's like a different channel that opens, that we can go through, and then you will have the power to manifest. Then things will come together. And whatever is happening right now in your life, and so-called negative stuff is happening, it is something that comes back from your past that you need to redeem. The more you react, the more you blow into that sail, get angry, sad, and whatever, the worse it becomes. When you look at it, step back at it, why does this happen? And sometimes just let go. I say, okay, I bless this experience, whatever happened. I know I have to look at it. I let it go. Thank you for the experience. And that's it. And then it can go. The moment you acknowledge something, that this is still within you, that lack, that fear, whatever it is, then it can go away. Again, remember, what I resist persists. What I look at disappears. So don't look at it on the outside, whatever is happening. Look at it as the lesson. And I have tough lessons in the last couple of years, and I know you too. So look at them again. Okay, go into that consciousness. Okay, thank you for these tough lessons. I don't need them anymore. I can move on now. Because you bless all these negative people, this negative whatever circumstances, with love, with gratitude. And this is the energy that shifts and changes everything. I hope I give you some courage with that, because when you look outside in the world, it looks horrible. I know, everywhere. We all have the same. So look at it as this is really now the separation of the chaff and the wheat. Look at it, focus on what is right in front of your nose, not what happened in Japan and in China and in Florida and wherever. People there, send them love if you have people who are in misery. And I'm not saying it's not horrible, but it is part of that false matrix, and we need to get out. That's the only thing. And that solar event that is probably coming quite soon. And for most of us, it is in our lifetime that is shifting everything. Then we are out, then we made it. And it's very, very close because we have been in this false matrix for millennia, many probably. Okay, I hope I can help you a bit with that. And I will do the next moon reading very soon also, that you see it also, what is happening from the perspective of the real star constellations. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.